doing? I've come on today because last week, or was it the week before, I was sharing on, I did a Facebook Live, and I was sharing, just sharing some general life things, and it was requested that I share my menopause story. I should have done a short video actually to remind people, but I'll just keep talking anyway because I had an emergency arise, so I had to sort it out. So I put up that I'm going to share my menopause story. So I'm going to share this story because I think it's an important part of our journey as women, the menopause, and I think not enough women, especially black women, we're not sharing our stories enough. And for a long time we kept things hidden, we weren't sharing things, we weren't sharing our stories as women. And I think as we're getting older, I wished people from our parents' generation shared things, but I think because they were brought up in a culture that was quite taboo, seen and not heard and all of that, certain things you had to keep private and certain things were not for discussion. But I think it's really good that we can open up the discussion about menopause and about things that affect us as women. And so I want to share, I'm not going to share everything, but I think I'm going to share enough to be able to encourage you and to also go through some of the things that are the symptoms and some of the remedies that I used that really helped me. And I think if you're a woman watching this, even if you're a man watching this will be information which will be really helpful for you to know if you're a man watching this, because there are some things that are really important for you to know. And obviously if you're a lady, a woman that has yet to enter that menopausal stage, this information will be really beneficial. So I'm gonna get started, but the one thing that I really want to say first of all was that I honestly thought I could keep doing some of the things that I usually do. I felt that even though I was going through my menopause, I could still keep up the same pace, going 10 miles an hour and all of that. And that didn't happen. And I'm wondering, well, what's happening? Why can't I used to be able to do X, Y, and Z and juggle so many balls? But as I was going through my menopause, I found that my energy levels were not the same. But I'm going to go through that and how it affected me. So you've got to be prepared for change. Not just the fact that your menstrual cycle is going to start going haywire, you're going to get the hot flushes and all of that. You have really got to be prepared for a change mentally, physically, psychologically. It affects everything because your hormones will begin to decrease and it affects every part of you. Some women get it more extreme than others, but let me start my story. I started my menopause, well, the full menopausal state, I was doing up a bit of reading about it. When you start to get all the hot flushes and irregular periods, that's called perimenopause. Perimenopause. Now, I started my perimenopause when I was 50. And my period came, it should have come on that particular month and it didn't come. So I didn't have a period for about 3 months. And then I had one period that lasted about 2 days. And then I didn't have anything for another 4 months. And then I had a period like for 2 months and then nothing came. So it was very erratic like that. And then amongst it being erratic, I began to get the hot flushes and I had them really bad. And I would just be sweating profusely. I would always want to be cold. I had to have the window. I mean, at night, I was sleeping with the window open. I felt sorry for my husband. In the middle, like December, January, when it's bitter, I would open the window or go in the other room and open the window and actually stick my head out the window. And those minus temperatures were heaven to me, honestly, because it's like, how can I describe it? It's like somebody has put like a fire in your body and the the hot flushes, they would start from your legs, and then they would work their way up into your body, and it will come up, and the heat will just leave your face. And literally, I'd be talking to somebody and I'd have a hot flush, and literally the water would just come out and sit on the surface of my skin, literally. And they'd be asking me, are you okay? And when I would get my mirror out, I would have beads of sweat sitting on my skin. It was that severe. And I had really bad sleepless nights. It affected my sleep pattern. So I had to really make sure that I went to bed early, that I got to bed at a reasonable time, just in case I got woken up in the middle of the night with this erratic sleep pattern. And then after that, now I couldn't go back to sleep. So I'd wake up at like 3 and I couldn't go back to sleep. And then by the time I did nod off, it was time to get up for work. So I was getting something like 3 to 4 hours sleep per night. And then I had mood swings. I'd be crying easily. I had night chills. I had the lot, and it was awful. And I had the hot flushes maybe for about 4 to 5 months, and then it rested. And then after a few months, it came back with a vengeance. I mean, and it was aggressive, and it appeared that it was worse than the first lot of hot flushes. So I'm just going to. So now I don't have hot flushes. I haven't had a period. I didn't have a period for 9 months. Then I just had one in May, and that lasted a week, and that was aggressive. That was very aggressive. So I was tired and everything. That was very aggressive after not having one for 9 months. But during that time when I first started, I kept a track of when I would have my period. So I kept a diary. I've got a diary that I keep track of when I would have my cycle. And it's very erratic because I would have to make sure that I carried around sanitary towels with me and all of that. I had to carry them everywhere. In case I came on, I needed to run into the toilet. So that is a little history of how it affected me, but it's awful. It really did do me bad. Some women don't really have it that bad. Some women have it really, really bad. I mean, they get the aggression, they get the real anger, all of that. I had a bit of the anger and frustration, but when I could feel it coming on, I had certain things that I did to curve it and to bring it down. So if you haven't had your menopause yet, if you feel that you're out of that age where you are due for your menopause, to be experiencing your menopause, I would really, really advise you to research it. Find out what you can do, because I didn't want to go to the doctors and get all this medication and HRT and all of that. My aunt was a nurse, and I told her that I was having my menopause, so she was giving me tips. She said, Jennifer, don't touch that HRT. Don't do it. So she was giving me tips. Yeah, everyone is different. She was giving me tips on what I could do. And I'm going to share with you, I'm not a medical person. I'm not any doctor or anything like that. What I'm sharing on here is what worked for me. And with you now is some things that you could start to do and get it into a habit, so that when your time actually comes, you're already prepared. That's why I'm sharing, because I want to help prepare you before you have your menopause. What I'm going to share with you today is some of the things that actually happens to your body, and some of the remedies that I use that really, really help me. And even during COVID, I still make sure that I keep up these habits, because I don't know when it's going to come on and or if it's decided not to. But I've made sure that I've kept it as a lifestyle to help me. So let me go through some of the symptoms of what can happen to you. So first thing is you'll have irregular periods. Please note that with irregular periods you can still get pregnant. There's a lot of women who have their menopause and they get pregnant while they're menopausal, so be careful with that. So you have hot flushes, you have chills, you have night sweats, which is what I had. You can have sleeping issues, you can have mood changes, you can have weight gain. And with the weight gain, you have to eat less and exercise more. So with the weight gain, you have to make sure that you eat less and exercise more, because menopause slows down your metabolism, and it slows down the rate at which you can burn up energy. So therefore, you can gain more weight. You can also have short-term memory loss. I became forgetful. And what I had to do, I'm still forgetful in some things. So what I have here is I have a diary that I write everything in. And I also use the diary reminders on my phone. Because sometimes I tend to forget things. So don't forget, because as your estrogen decreases, and it will affect different parts of the body, and it can affect your memory a little bit in the short term. So you also get, your hair starts to thin and you get dry skin. My hair started to thin and it got all stringy. Obviously I've got a wig on now, but it became stringy. So what I did in this November, I cut all my hair off. My hair was quite long. It was about here, and it was here and it was thick. It's not thick, but it was out here. But it was very stringy, very dry, it was awful. So I cut the whole lot off in November and I started again. And I really make sure that I look after it. So menopause changes the texture of your hair, and my hair texture has changed. So I make sure that I look into it, but I'll go in later what I do with my hair. You can also, your skin becomes dry. So my skin used to always be moist and shiny and supple and everything like that. But now it has become very dry. I developed like dry patches around the back of my neck. And my skin has become very, very dry. So I'm going to tell you what I do for me. I'm sharing what works for me. I'm not a medical person, so I'm putting in that disclaimer. So when I share these tips, hopefully it will help you as well. Okay? You can also you may also get urinary incontinence. Okay? You might get urinary incontinence. You feel that you want to go to the toilet more as well. Okay? So they are just a few of the symptoms. But let me tell you what I do, and I do it now, and I'm going to maintain it, because it's really important. Because when you enter your menopausal phase, your body starts to change, and issues that you never had in the past, you can start experiencing them now. A couple of years ago, I had to go to the doctors for something, and my blood pressure was through the roof. I never had blood pressure before. And I was diagnosed pre-diabetic. And he told me, the doctor mentioned to me, that as soon as some women enter the into that phase of being menopausal, their body starts to change and they begin to experience issues in their body that they never experienced before. My blood pressure was always the same, no problem. But as soon as I hit menopause, a couple of years after that, things started to happen. So let me share with you what I do to look after me, okay? And I hope that you can take something from that and apply it to your life. So with me now, first of all, I made sure that I did regular exercise, because you obviously, as you enter that menopausal phase, your metabolism drops, and I began to put on weight around my middle. And if you have weight around your middle, it's not a good sign. You're opened up to a lot of different issues. Okay, so I made sure that I began to work out. I love going to the gym anyway, and I've got myself a gym subscription, and I go to before the lockdown, I was going to the gym 3 times a week. It was Monday. Monday I would do aerobics. Tuesday I would do aqua aerobics and sauna. Thursday I would do another class. And then Saturday I would do Zumba, swimming for about half an hour, and I would do sauna and steam. So I did saunas and steam twice a week, because you don't want to let stress, because stress is another indicator that is not going to help you during menopause. You have to keep your stress levels down. And the thing that helped me to keep my stress levels down was exercise. So that was my routine. I was going to gym 3 or 4 times a week. I did saunas and steam twice a week, and I made sure that I really relaxed, and I would give myself my mini spa every week. Going to the gym and having mini spas and saunas used to be a treat, but now it's no longer a treat, and I do it as a part of my self-care. It is not a treat, it is a necessity for me. And that's what I do. And we've got to get out of this habit of thinking that having a sauna, going to the steam, doing little things and buying bits and pieces, that it's a treat. No, it is part of self-care as a woman. And when you enter that menopause phase, it is so important to do that. So I went to the gym, and the exercise helped me to alleviate some of my symptoms. The regular exercise really helped me to deal with a lot of the symptoms. So when I worked out, I would do treadmill, go down to the gym nearest to me, and I would do treadmill, and it would give me a calm, it would help me to de-stress, and it would bring me back into an equilibrium, and it would also at the same time help me with my weight. Yeah, I know, but now that we're in COVID, this is what I do. I got myself a Fitbit, and what I do now, we're allowed to go outside and exercise. Even when the lockdown initially happened and they said you can go out once a day, I went out that once a day, and I went for my walk, and I put in the number of steps that I wanted to do each day as my goal. And every day I make sure that I meet my goal of how many steps. My goal on my Fitbit for steps is 15,000 steps a day. The government recommends we do 10,000, but I'm doing 15,000 a day, and I'm meeting my goals. So now that we're in lockdown, I make sure that I go out and I walk. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing is that I had to change my diet. I changed my diet. So I cut out a lot of, I cut down the amount of starches I eat, and I reduced my carbs. I stopped, I love coffee, and I cut out caffeine, I cut out coffee, and I drink tea, decaf. Because if you drink coffee, because of the caffeine, it can make you more edgy during menopause. So you cut out the caffeine, and also caffeine in coffee can raise your blood pressure. So I went straight on to decaf to cut out a lot of that high caffeine thing. So now I have decaffeinated coffee, and I don't take sugar in my coffee. So I cut down my carbs. I drink decaffeinated coffee. I don't take sugar in anything. I don't add salt to any cooking. I don't add salt to season meat. I just use the seasonings. And so we have a really kind of low salt tolerance in my home. And I cut out a lot of sugar. I don't deny myself, but I make sure that I monitor what I eat, because the high sugar, high carb, and don't forget, because of the menopause, your metabolism slows down, so you put on weight quicker. So I had to counteract that by reducing my carb, reducing my sugar intake, and I try and get my sweetness from fruit. Okay, I hope you all are taking notes. So the next one is, so diet is really important. Diet is really important. Watch what you eat. Start exercising, ladies. So watch what you eat and watch your portion sizes, because you put on weight very quickly. So you cut it right down, cut your food right down, and increase your exercise. So send me some hearts if it's helping you. Yeah. So also I eat food rich in calcium and vitamin D, because menopause can affect your bone density as well. As your estrogen goes down, it affects your bone density. Okay, so your bones are not as strong. So you've got to increase your calcium and vitamin D. And right now, what I've started to do, I went down to the health shop and I take cod liver oil, vitamin C. I flew through the menopause with no problems apart from that. Okay, you're lucky, mate. Good for you. Oh, you're lucky. Oh my God, I had it with mine. So I go down to the health shop and I take cod liver oil tablets, and I take a host of other good things. So eat your foods rich in calcium and vitamin D. Start eating your green cabbages, steamed cabbage. Get into your carrots, anything green, broccoli. Steam that. Have more veg on your plate instead of carbs. So what I do now, when I cook, I make sure that I have loads of veg. I still have my rice and peas, but I just have a much smaller portion. But I tend to bulk up on vegetables, and I have my meat for protein. That's what I tend to do. Because carbs, don't forget, carbs, the body will turn carbs into sugar. Your body turns carbohydrates into sugar. Okay? So yeah, spinach and kale are good. I love spinach. Yeah? So you've got to cut down your carbs, because your body will automatically turn that into sugar. You need carbs for some stuff. You need it for energy, but reduce the amount. If you have 2 slices of bread, have 1. Okay? If you're used to having 3 spoons of rice, have 1. Okay, cut down your portion sizes, and that's what I had to do. And I'm eating a lot more fruit and veg. You're to avoid trigger foods, because I was thinking for some people, if they drink coffee, it can trigger a hot flush. It can trigger a hot flush. And the thing that triggered my hot flushes was stress. So what I found out, that when I was at work, I was having loads of hot flushes because I was stressed. And I had to find a way to keep my stress level down. So stress triggered my hot flushes, and I had more hot flushes at work. Okay, so stress was my one. So I had to find ways to, lower my stress at work, and going to the gym helped me to lower my stress levels. So that I brought my hot flushes under control by going to the gym. Okay? Do your research. And have whole carbs. I tend to have like wholemeal bread. I have brown rice. I have brown basmati rice. Yeah, you can have sweet things that trigger hot flushes. That's right. Okay, so I change the kind of carbs that I eat. The little things that I do like, I still have it now and again, but I measure it, and I try not to have them every day. Or what I try to do, I won't eat it Monday to Friday, but I'll have it on Saturday, so that I can reduce the amount that I'm eating. Okay, make sure that you drink plenty. I had to drink plenty of water, because my skin was getting dry. My facial skin was dry. And it was itchy, and my skin was dry. So what I had to do for the dry skin was that I had to be showering in, because I used to like hot water to shower, really hot water. It was pretty dangerous. So what I do now is I shower in warm water. And then when I finished in the shower, as soon as I finished, I get like baby oil or olive oil. I use, and as soon as I've just patted myself down in the shower, I cover my body in baby oil or olive oil, virgin olive oil, and that will lock in that moisture. So that's what I do. As soon as I shower, I oil myself down so that that moisture is locked in, and it seems to be working quite well for me. My skin used to be oily, but now it's gone slightly dry because of the menopause. So what I did, I went down to a chemist, not a chemist, I went down to a pharmacist, I think it's Savers. So what I do, I get like a face mask. I get face masks for dry skin. And I found a really nice one in Savers that I use. I put it all over my face. You leave it on for about 10 minutes and then you can wipe it off, wash it off. And that has really helped to bring the moisture back into my skin. So I do face masks. Excuse me. I do face masks twice a week, 2 or 3 times a week. That really helps my skin quite a lot. I was getting dark circles here, but since increasing my water intake and doing the masks and everything, it's really helped my skin. Actually, I should have brought my mask box in here so that I can show you. But they're ordinary face masks for dry skin. You can get them from Superdrug or whatever. So that's what I use for that. So also, I had to reduce my refined sugar. You've got to reduce processed foods. Your processed foods, I'm a crisp lover, but I had to reduce my crisps because the salt will push up your blood pressure. And don't forget, your body's a lot more susceptible to different things once you enter the menopause phase. So I had to reduce refined sugars. Anyway, I don't take sugar in a lot of things now. I tend to rely mostly on fruits for the sweets, for the sweetness, and then I would have my odd little treat of refined sugar now and again or at the weekend. But Monday to Friday, I tend to be quite strict with what I eat. Okay? And your processed foods. Cut down your processed foods. So I've mentioned about the sauna, steam room and swimming. And the last point is looking after your health must be a priority. For so long as women, if we've got families, we pour everything and we sacrifice our health, our psychology, our everything to look after our families. We do that religiously and we do that and we're committed to it and we throw ourselves into it, and our families I can see my cousin hearting that one up. We throw ourselves passionately into looking after our families, and that's right, that's the right thing to do. But there has to be a switch at some point. There must be a point in the age of your adult children that you switch into looking after you. Because if you don't make yourself a priority, if you don't make yourself a priority in looking after yourself mentally, emotionally and physically, you are going to pay the price in the end. You must invest in you. As soon as my kids got of age, I was off to the gym. As soon as I turned 50, I was doing solo travels every year. Every year I go on holiday. And right now, I should have come back from the United States. I should have gone to America last week and come back yesterday. But because of COVID, I can't go. So I had to cancel the flight. But every year, because I'm 55 now, but every year since I turned 50, I go on holiday, and I don't joke with it. Because me going on holiday every year, me going to the gym, having my sauna and my steam is part of my own self-care. My children are big. I'm looking after me now. It's part of my own self-care. And that's important. You've got to look after yourself spiritually. You've got to look after yourself physically. Yeah, you do. You've got to do. It's not that you don't love your kids and all of that, because even as an adult, they would still come to you with different things. But the priority has changed. I'm the priority now. Okay? I've given the best of myself to my family. I've given my 20s, I've given my 30s, and I've given my 40s. And I'm 55 now. Okay, so I've given the best part of 30 years of investing in home, investing in family. I don't cook every day. Now that we're on lockdown, I kind of cook every other day, trying new recipes and stuff. But I've got to invest in me. Children are living their own lives. They're enjoying themselves. This is now time for you. This is now time for you to work on your mental health. This is now time for you to work on your attitude and outlook on life. Okay? This is now time for you to take action with you. There are some things that I stopped doing because it's like, look, no, sorry. What I used to do there, I'm taking that money and look, I take myself off to Harrods. The thing is, it's never too late to get started. If this video has prompted you to start investing in your own self-care and your own health, then I've done a good job. I've pushed you into something great. Okay, but if you're menopausal or you're about to enter your menopause or you're of that age, you must start your self-care now, because menopause can do so many things to your body. Look after yourself. Look after your hair. Look after your body. Go to the gym. You know what I do? We're in lockdown and all of that. I go for long walks. I go down the West End and I walk around Kensington Gardens. I walk to get the number of steps I want to do per day. And my waistline is coming down. I've actually dropped a clothes size. I used to be a 16. I'm now 12, 14. You have got to invest in you. It is very, very, very important. Very, very, very important. And I can't stress that enough. I started an Instagram page last week called Beauty Over 50. And it's beauty over underscore 50. Beauty over 50. And I've already got, I don't know, maybe about 50 women following me. They're interacting with me on there. One lady interacted with me today. She said, thank God there's a page up for women over 50. And there, on that page on Instagram, I'm sharing the beauty of being over 50 and that life has not ended because you're in your mid-50s or approaching your 60s. Life begins in your 50s, because you've done your family, you've done all your bit. Now it's time to invest in you. What are your plans for the next 5 years when COVID is over? Are you planning a cruise? What countries do you want to go and visit? What cruises do you want to attend? What shows do you want to go and see at the West End? Yes, I do shows. I go and see shows in the West End. Okay, I go to the theatre. I go to the pictures. I take myself out to dinner. I go to Harrods. And I have lunch at Harrods, and I have celebrate my birthday in Harrods. I do all kinds of stuff because I have to invest in me as women. And if you're a mother or if you're on this broadcast and your mother is still alive, your mother has given everything for you to be able to be where you are right now. Being a parent does not mean being perfect, because nobody's parent and no parent is ever perfect. But they made the sacrifices for us, okay, for us to be where we are. They made those sacrifices, and we have to make sure that, especially if you have your mum, that you do something for her, because I'm a mother of 2 children. And you give everything as a parent. You give everything. And you have got to make sure that you invest in yourself, because as a mother, we are wired to keep giving. But there is some point where you might have given 100% before, but now you're gonna have to cut it back, and you give 30 or 40%. You've got to give the majority percentage to you, and that's not being selfish. This is called self-investment. You've got to invest in you. So with the menopause now, take what I've shared on this video, go back and listen to it if you can, or go and start researching yourself. Find out the things that you can do that will affect your body. I don't keep going to the doctors for everything. I want to try and sort things out for myself naturally. What can I take? What herb can I take? What kind of tea can I put together to help me? And so far, it's been working for me. It's been working for me. And I want to live a long and healthy and prosperous life. But that will only start with me, and that will only start with you when you take the time to invest. So start looking after yourself now, and it is not you're not being selfish. You have adult children, they're running their own life, they can live their own life, they can enjoy their own life. Now you start investing in you. They're not going to be at home forever. You start investing in you. If they're doing things, in their adult self and it's not helpful or the stress, go and pray about it. If you're a Christian, pray about it. But keep your stress level down. Do things that make you happy. There are simple things in life that can make you happy. Even under lockdown, you can find those little things, those little treats. If you can't afford to go to the spa, you can't afford a gym subscription, you can do your walking and you can do a home gym. You can do a home spa. Does anybody know how to do a home spa? One day I did a home spa. I put bath water, I filled up my bath. I put lavender, salts and all of that inside the bath. I set up my iPad on the window ledge and I put in some lovely soaking music. And then what I did, I got some beautiful candles. Hold on, let me show you my candles. I love Yankee Candle. And I've got this one. This one is, what is it? Berry and rhubarb jam. Yankee were doing a sale with their candles and I love a candle. So I got my candle and I light them, put 2 of them in the bathroom, and then I did it at night, and then I turned off the light, and then I let the candle be the light in the bathroom. I've got all my bath salts and everything in the bath. And then I put the soaking music on, and I just laid there in the bath, and the only light in the bathroom was the candle. And before I got in, okay, do yourself a home spa. Those with a little bit of more money, or they can have more, or day on when you even save up. One time I took myself off to Gloucester because I went to a church opening. I went to Gloucester and I stayed in a hotel with a swimming pool and a spa and a steam room and all of that. After the church service, in the conference room in the hotel, I just took myself off to the spa and I chilled out in there. I did my swimming, I did all of that. You've got to invest in you, and I'm sharing this with you. I'm sharing this with you because I want to challenge you to look after yourself, because I'm really passionate about women over 50, that we don't take time to look after ourselves. We look after so many people. We do so many things for our kids. We do so many things for other people, and we don't look after ourselves. We don't. Okay? Yeah, you can do a foot spa day on. I've got a foot spa in my room, and I do that. I do my foot spa, clean up my foot and everything, and then I paint my own toenails. At the end, my foot is feeling lovely. My foot is feeling well, nice and clean. I do my own nails sometimes. I've got my towel wrapped around me. I've got the face mask on. I've got a hand mask, because they have hand masks as well now. And I've got a foot mask that when I finish my foot massage and my foot is all cleaned up, I put a foot mask on, and I've got my hand mask on. By the time I take those off, my hands are soft, my foot is soft. I cream it up and I do my toenails, and I look good. My foot is soft. Okay? So all my beauty over 50s, that if you're on Instagram, follow me on beauty over _50, beauty over _50, and I'm going to be doing lots of material for women over 50 who are approaching 50, because we have got to look after ourselves, because if we don't, who's going to do it? because I show you on there how beautiful you are. Society always looks on age. Thanks, Andrea. Society always looks at the under 40s, the millennials, the this, the that, whatever. But we're beautiful as well. And as women, we have a lot to offer. We might not have, all these things that the young people have, but we've lived life a long time and we have gathered some points of wisdom about certain things. So we have a lot to offer, and we have to remember that we have a lot. And if we don't have our own community, then we have to create it. So beauty over _50. Right, so I've got my bits here. Now I tend to get my bits from Savers or Superdrug. I don't buy it from Tesco, because in Tesco's they're quite expensive, and the exact same product is in Savers for cheaper. So I go to Savers or Superdrug. So let me show you what I've got here. Now, this is the hand pack. This is the coconut hand pack, and it's enriched with coconut and vitamin E. Vitamin E is really good for the skin. Okay, and it nourishes your hands it soothes your hands and nourishes your nails. My hands have become really soft and my nails have been really, really nourished. My nails were actually getting quite hard and they were getting really strong. I was looking after them because I'm also taking a lot of supplements as well. So this is the hand pack that I use, and I think I got this, I can't remember, it's either Savers or Superdrug, but that's the hand pack. And you keep that on your hand for 15 to 20 minutes. And when you take it off, the instructions are at the back. When you take it off, your hands, they come out lovely, really soft. So I do this once a week. This one, right? You've also got one for your foot. This is the foot pack. I got this one from Superdrugs. I've got this from Superdrug. And so I tend to clean off my foot, pumice stone it and do all of that. Then when I've done all that, there's one for each foot. I put my foot in this 10 to 15 minutes. And then I take it off and all the cream is still on your leg. And you just take your time and massage it all in. And then what I do as an extra step, I don't paint my nails. I get like cotton socks or like football socks, pair of socks, and I put them on, and then I keep them on my foot overnight. When I wake up the next day, it's like I've just had a pedicure. Keep the socks on, and then my feet are lovely. Oh my God. And then I paint my nails the next day, and my feet look fantastic. So this is the foot pack. So any kind of foot pack, and I got this from Superdrugs. Yeah. Oh, I've been on here for an hour. Oh, right. Now, this one is the Moisture Bomb Tissue Mask. I love this. Oh, these foot packs tend to be like £1.50 or £1.99. Sometime, I think in Superdrug, they do buy one, get one half price. So when they've got sales and all of that, or they've knocked them all down to 99p, I just grab a handful. That's what I do. Yeah, so that's the foot pack. This one is the Moisture Bomb. Now, I really like this because what it is, it's an infused tissue, special tissue. It's infused with chamomile. This one is chamomile and hyaluronic acid. And hyaluronic acid is supposed to be really good for your skin, really good for the skin, because when you're menopausal, you also begin to lose collagen. So I look for masks with hyaluronic acid, and I tend to try and use collagen creams to help me with the skin. So with this one now, you open it, unfold the tissue, and then you put it over your skin. And they've got holes there for the eyes, the nose, and the mouth. And you leave it on your face for about 15 minutes. I'll show you you can see the thing there, look. And when you take it off, your skin is lovely. Oh my God, it's lovely. Really nice. And then, because I was having dark circles, I've got this eye tissue mask. And this one is orange juice and hyaluronic acid, and it visibly reduces eye bags and brighten eye contours. I've got Moisture Bomb Eye Tissue Mask. And this one is good because it reduces all the puffiness under the eyes, and it can also help reduce the darkness under the eyes. And I really, really like this. And what they advise you to do before you put it on, they advise you to put it in the fridge for about 10 minutes so it gets really cold. When you go to the shops to purchase these products, I would advise you to have a look at the ingredients to make sure that you're not allergic to anything. Because if it's got alcohol or any other thing that might irritate you, don't buy the product. Don't buy the product. Make sure that you check the ingredients at the back to make sure that it's okay for you. Yeah, but they will have stuff there for sensitive skin. Make sure that it's okay for you. Okay, so I'm emphasizing that. That's my disclaimer. So that's what I use. And I also have a cream for dry skin that I put on as a face mask, and I leave it on for 10-15 minutes because my skin has become dry, and then I take that off. And then I oil up my skin and everything, and my skin has come back up quite nice. So I've got a particular regime that I use for my body. And look, I've got to invest in me. I've got to invest in me, and I'm challenging you ladies to invest in you. And listen, I've got a YouTube channel called Heart of Refuge. Okay. And I think I've got 3 travel vlogs on there. When I went to Berlin, when I went to Barcelona, and I don't think I didn't do one for Madrid. When I went to Berlin, when I went to Barcelona. So if you go over to my Heart of Refuge YouTube channel, first of all, subscribe, and then you can watch my travel vlogs. And what I did while I solo traveled, the first place I solo traveled was Barcelona. Then I went to, and I've been to Madrid, I've been to Berlin, okay? And there was somewhere else, I can't remember now. But I videoed 2 of my travels and I put them on the YouTube. So my YouTube is Heart of Refuge. And you can go and watch my travel vlogs there, and don't forget to subscribe. You can see what I did and how I enjoyed myself while I was there. Okay, so the need is there. So please, ladies, do me a favor by investing in yourself. And when you go over to the YouTube channel, subscribe. Okay, subscribe, and make sure that you watch my travel vlogs, because you will see what I get up to when I travel. Okay, so if you got anything else, any other subject areas that you would like me to cover in a video, please make sure that you leave it in the comments. Leave what you would like me to cover in the comments. I mean, it doesn't have to be anything to do with it can be any random subject that you want me to share on or talk about. Leave it in the comments and I will happily share on it. Okay, because I'm here to build you, I'm here to lift you up. I'm a certified life coach, so I want to encourage you. I'm also a mentor I mentor a couple of women, and I also want to be able to empower you to be the best Shirley, the best Lorraine, the best Kay, the best Dayon, the best Aunt Vivine, the best whatever your name is. I want you to be the best that you can be in your own skin. Okay, so go to my YouTube channel, check that out, subscribe, and leave your comment in the comment section as to what subject you would like me to cover. So leave me what you would like me to share on next. Topics that are a little bit challenging. Leave me any subjects that are not really discussed about, or your parents didn't want to talk about, or you're not heard much about, or you haven't had that perspective of somebody who's plus 50 and you want me to talk about it. Leave it in the comments. Okay, could be a parenting thing, could be teenagers, could be my kids or whatever. Leave it in the comments and let me pick it up and I'll share it with you. Okay, I'll just share with you from my perspective. Okay, so God bless. Don't forget to go out and get your bits. Okay? And I will see you in my next video. And I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you were encouraged, and that it encouraged you to start looking after yourself. All right? God bless, and I'll see you in my next video. All right.